y'all? Welcome back to my channel. As promised, I told y'all that I will be giving y'all an everyday makeup routine video, and here it is. So if you want to see how I got this everyday makeup look, keep on watching the video. Y'all, I'm so freaking excited because I'm sure you could tell that the camera quality is better, and that's because I got me a brand new camera. So make sure you like this video just off the simple fact that, you know, the channel is getting better before it really can even start. But without further ado, let's jump into this video. Okay, so I always start my face off with a clean face, wash and moisturize, and I'm just gonna take my Fix Plus and just spray it on my face. And this is just gonna give me a little bit of moisture. I'm gonna take my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. A primer is just good so your makeup can last all day. I do like pore filling primers just because like my pores are enlarged, like right here and on my forehead. I am going to take my powder. I'm using the Fenty powder in Hazelnut, and I learned this from Jackie Aina. I am going to take my powder and just set my face. My beauty blender is damp, so I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to use just like a dense brush, and I'm just going to press this in. And this is just going to help, like, it's going to give me a layer. Oh, it smells good. It's going to give me a layer so that my oil can like absorb the powder before it goes onto my foundation. Okay, so literally just like that. That's all you need to do. Now, I'm gonna try to keep the mirror off to the side. So now after I do that, I personally go in and start on my brows. I always do my brows first. It's really no order to it. It's just, you know, whatever you like, whatever's your preference. So I am definitely into like lighter, fluffier brows, and I'm using an eyebrow pencil from MAC in the color Spiked. This, like, none of my products really matter. Like, you can honestly use, I'll tell you what I'm using, but you can use drugstore products too, because like it's so many drugstore brands that are so good that I highly recommend. So it really doesn't matter what you use. I'm gonna just keep you zoomed up for this part. So I just do a line just like that, and then I just flick up. I always do the tail end of my brow first, and then I work my way up. I'm just flicking up just like that for the brows. It might not look like nothing, but after I go in with my concealer, it'll really like look like something. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace under my brow with concealer, and this part is crucial if you want like a structured brow. This part is very important. The brush that you use to carve out your brows, I use a brush like this, but I would suggest you use like a flat top brush. Hold on, let me show you one. This is hands down the best brow brush ever. It's a MAC 212 brush, and literally like there's no other brush like this I have found, just because like how skinny it is, the straight edge. Like, you want something so thin just so you can really get in there and carve out your brow. Like, this is perfect. I love this brush. So I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand. I'll put a little bit on my brush, and then I'm just gonna carve it out. So this is the carved brow. So I just get it, and after I carve it, I just blend it all the way down on my lid, because this is going to act as my eyeshadow primer. And yes, your eyeshadow primer can be a concealer. You don't really need to go out and buy a base. That's why I also like this Tarte Shape Tape, because it dries down matte, and so it makes just a really good shadow primer. So I'm just gonna get that and just really blend it in. And the most crucial part about like carving your brow out is you want to make sure you don't have a lot of product like gooped up in your brow. That's why like I'll take it on the back of my hand. I need a little bit more. I'll take on the back of my hand and just like press the tip in. I'm not really putting the whole brush in. I'm just really putting the product on the part of the brush that I'm going to be using. And then I always start in the middle to carve out the arch first. So what I just did, like I was about to carve it out, but I noticed it was too much product on the brush. So I kind of took it down lower just to kind of wipe a little bit off before I go in completely. Okay, so another tip you can do just to really make sure your brows are even, you can connect the line. Like when I go in the front of my brow, like I kind of fling it all the way out here, and then I'll go on the other side and just fling it out, just to make sure the lines in the middle are lining up. So sometimes, like if I was to fling this out and then this line was up here or down here, I would know that the front aren't even, but they met up perfectly. So I'm just gonna fill it in the middle just a little bit, and then I'm gonna take the rest of the product down on my brow, or down on my eyelid. So I like how that looks. Now I'm gonna go in with my damp beauty blender. Don't mind the tip. My nephew literally came the other day and ripped the whole top off. So yeah, but I'm just about to go and just press this in with a damp beauty blender. A damp beauty blender is gonna give you a little, like, I wanna say less, well, essentially it is less coverage than a dry beauty blender. So I like to go in with it damp. You don't want it dripping. You don't want, like if I squeeze this, no water should come out. It should just be damp. So I'll take it and just press in that concealer just like that. You can go in with your pencil and fill it in a little bit more if you want it to be darker, or yeah. So I always take it and just kind of fluff out the front because I like an ombre front. I like a real soft beginning of my brow. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm also going to take the concealer at the top and just carve it out. Now I would suggest you use your foundation or a concealer that's similar to your skin tone opposed to doing it light. And I only say that because some people, like if you are not really taking the time to blend it well, then it's not gonna look right. Like you really have to make sure you blend it out. And I only take it at the end. I don't carve out the beginning of my brow anymore, just because like I don't care to have like a strong carved out harsh brow, like a full brow. I just like the ends to be shaped. So just like that. Now for foundation, I am going to use my Pretty Fresh by Colourpop Tinted Moisturizer. This is literally like sheer makeup, or sheer coverage, I'm sorry. Sheer coverage, so it's literally like, it's some but barely even any. So I take my foundation on like a big dense buffing brush, just because it'll give me the most coverage. So because this is so sheer, it'll still give me maximum coverage. But honestly, since I've been getting my facials, I don't really need like full coverage foundation, and I just like how my skin feels with the Tinted Moisturizer. So now, after that's all set in, I'm going to take the same concealer that I used to carve out my brow, and I'm going to put that right under my eye. I'm gonna take the Pretty Fresh Colourpop concealer. So obviously they're a set. And I'm gonna take it in the same spots that I put the other concealer. So a little bit right here, right here. And then I'll put just this one on my forehead. I like this one better on my forehead just because like the Tarte one just kind of dries down too quick for me sometimes. So while that kind of dries a little bit, I'm gonna go in with my contour. This is my all-time favorite contour. It's the Fenty Beauty one. It's definitely dirty. And it's in the color Espresso. And I just take this and I put it right on like my temples and forehead. Take it down the side of my nose like that. And then I kind of like work it in this curvy. I don't even know what to call it, but yeah, that curvy. Alright. I'm actually gonna go in and put just a tiny bit more of the Tarte on the outer corners of my eye. Now take my damp beauty blender and I'm just going to press in. Sorry. So after that is blend in, now I'm gonna take my cute little sculpting brush. And mind y'all, we've only used 1, 2, 3, 4 tools. If you want to count this 5, but honestly you can, this is what we put the powder on. But honestly you could just use this to put the powder on, or you can just, or you can use your brush. So 4 tools is not bad. And I also would recommend any Real Techniques brushes. You can get it from Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens, anything like that. They are bomb, affordable, and they last long. So I'm just gonna press this contour like from here up into my temples. Take your time, no rush. I'm not only pressing in where I applied it, but I'm like kind of like bringing it down, and I'm not doing like dragging it because I don't want it to disturb the other products that I put down. I'm just literally bouncing the brush all over my forehead and just where I want it. Now I'm going to take the extra and I'm gonna put it right here on my chin. I didn't apply any on my chin just because like there's no point, you'll have extra. Then take this and I'm gonna like diffuse the contour that I put on my nose. This is what I was talking about in this crevice, and this is also why I love this brush, because I like raise my eyebrows and I kind of get right in this nook right here. And I just blend the contour in on the side of my nose and kind of put it in my eye socket, because I really want that depth to be like in my eye. I'm going to blend out on my nose. And I'll wait till I do my contour, just because I feel like if I blend it out and then do my contour, it'll kind of get lost. Which is okay because you can always go back and add anything that gets lost, or yeah, just needs a retouch. For instance, like the contour, I am gonna go back and add just a little bit more on the side. And yeah, I'm gonna press, go back over my highlight and contour just to make sure everything is blended together. Just like this. Another favorite part of mine, and that is powder. I love like baking. I don't really bake, but I love like setting my concealer. It's so like therapeutic and satisfying. I love it. I do have the Fenty, and before the Fenty I was using the Laura Mercier translucent powder in medium deep, and I do have to say I definitely like the Laura Mercier way better than the Fenty, just because I feel like the I don't know, I just feel like the Fenty maybe it's just a little, it's not light, like it's a good highlighting powder, but I feel like the Laura Mercier is definitely more fine than the Fenty. Like it's a fine powder. So I'm just gonna take the Laura Mercier and put it right under my eye. And I'm gonna put it also in the places that I get really oily, which is like around my mouth, dang near my whole face, my mouth, my forehead. So I'm gonna take this and just really press in these powders. And basically the method is you're going to set everywhere you put that concealer. So on my nose right there. I'm gonna go under my contour and kind of like chisel that out just a little bit, not too crazy. I'm gonna put a little bit on my brows, just the extra. I'm not gonna read it. Just press that into the brows. So now while this is kind of like sitting and resting in my face, I am going to go in with my contour. I'm sure y'all seen these before. This is from Walmart. And just go right over it and set that contour. And this is the shape of my contour brush. It's like a slant, just to really get in there. After contouring, I'm gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty in Mocha Mommy. I love this. I actually start bronzing this summer. I've never used bronzer ever in my life. But I love bronzer. The difference between bronzer and contour is contour adds depth and dimension, and bronzing adds like color to your face, and warmth to your face. So I'm gonna use this bronzer on a bigger brush and just put this all over the contour and the perimeters of my face. It's like a red undertone. It's like brownish red. I actually forgot something, so I'm gonna go back in with this contour palette, and I'm going to take a brush and contour my nose. Just go down the side of my nose and contour it. And then I'm gonna put this like in this socket. So now for the eyeshadow. For my everyday, I go in, you can either do the contour shade or the bronzing shade on your lid. I personally like the warmthness of my bronzer, so I'll take it on the same brush that I just contoured, and I just put that literally all over my lid, just like this. Literally not, I don't care if it's neat, it doesn't matter. I'm just putting this all over my entire lid. And I like doing this just because like it really just melts and marries everything together that's on your face, like your bronzer on the side, and the eye shade or the eye color. Like everything just comes together so beautifully. I love putting bronzer on as my eyeshadow. Then you're gonna go in with your Fix Plus. Just like really melts the powders and melts everything together. Then you can go in with your beauty blender. I'm gonna use the butt side because it has no product in it, and I'm just going to press everything in. While it is still kind of like wet a little bit, this is a perfect time to go in and apply your highlighter. This is actually a concoction I've made of like a couple highlighters that I had that busted, that I literally, my heart would not let me throw away, so I just put it in an empty translucent container I had. Put this on that contour brush and put it right on my temples, or right on my cheeks. Put some highlight right here. I do love putting highlight in my tear ducts. It just adds like a nice touch. I'm actually doing a little bit because it's so pretty. I'm gonna take some white eyeliner and put it under my eye, on my lash line, bottom lash line. White eyeliner opens up the eyes and just gives you a nice pop. Now I'm going to go in with my extended play mascara for my bottom lashes, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the bottom lash. Next step, I'm gonna go in with my Juvia's Place blush palette. I like to mix the orange and this pink. I love me an orange blush. It is so pretty on my skin tone, and I'm just gonna put this on my face. Okay, to finish off the lip, I'm using my Chestnut lip pencil from MAC. This is Yash, also from MAC. Pop that around. I don't really mix it, I just pop it. And then top it off with Candy Box lip gloss. It's like a lip gloss, also from MAC. And literally last step, I want to put my mole back right here. I have a mole, but I always cover it up when I end up putting all this stuff on. So I'm gonna cover that, put that back. One last spray. And voila, this is the final makeup look. I also did my lashes, so if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go watch that video. I did DIY lash extensions, so that's why I didn't put any lashes on. But if you want something more dramatic, more bold, you can always stack another pair of lashes on top. But because this is like because this is just like an everyday makeup look, I'm just gonna leave it with my extensions because I already feel like they're enough as it is. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Don't forget to